There's a silence out there, cold, dark, unimaginable. A silence that stretched for months, until one day in April, it cracked. And when it did, a voice returned. Not a loud one, not even clear at first, but unmistakably Voyager 1. After drifting in total silence 15 billion miles away from Earth, after months of being presumed lost, Voyager spoke again. What it said wasn't just a whisper from the void, it was a revelation, and it changed everything. For decades, Voyager 1 has been more than a machine. It's a traveler, an emissary, an explorer sent by a species that dares to ask what lies beyond. In 2012, it crossed the heliopause, the invisible boundary where the sun's influence ends and true interstellar space begins. It became the first human-made object to enter the great unknown. But now, more than a decade later, we're finally beginning to understand just how strange, how alive, and how utterly unpredictable that great unknown really is. Because what Voyager is sending back now, it's not silence anymore. It's a song, quiet, haunting, but unmistakably alive. It's the cosmic hum of interstellar space, carried not in words, but in waves and fields, in tremors of plasma and the trembling lines of distant magnetic forces. This isn't science fiction. This is our universe, stripped of the myths and special effects, more wondrous than we ever imagined. You see, we thought we understood what lay beyond the reach of the sun. We imagined a dark, empty vacuum, still, silent, simple. But Voyager has shattered that illusion. What it's discovering is an ocean, not a void. An ocean made of plasma, radiation, and magnetic tension. An ocean with tides and currents, with weather, with invisible storms that have raged for millions of years. The first clues came in the form of unexpected data, signals that didn't make sense. The magnetometer began detecting fields that were misaligned, twisted, tilted sharply against the magnetic lines cast out by our sun. These weren't mere fluctuations. They were signs of vast galactic structures, magnetic turbulence zones where immense forces twist and collide like tectonic plates in space. We thought the boundary would be fuzzy, gradual. But the moment Voyager crossed it, there was a sharp and abrupt spike in high-energy cosmic rays, particles accelerated by distant supernovas and black holes. It was like crossing a cliff edge, not a gentle hill. And that plasma, Voyager's instruments began picking up density spikes, pressure waves, and constant low-frequency oscillations, waves echoing across the darkness. It's not empty, not by a long shot. There's something whispering out there, a steady cosmic murmur that's everywhere at once. The truth is, Voyager isn't drifting through a vacuum. It's flying through a mist, a fog that's layered and structured. Some parts are thicker, some warmer. Every few months, the spacecraft enters a new patch, like crossing invisible climate zones in deep space. It's a journey not through silence, but through the echoes of ancient events, through shock waves left behind by dying stars, through magnetic footprints carved by the rotation of the galaxy itself. And the farther Voyager travels, the more complex this space becomes. One might expect interstellar space to become more uniform, more predictable the deeper you go. But instead, it becomes stranger. Denser here, emptier there. There are cosmic rays moving in patterns that don't seem random. It's as though there are lanes, natural corridors where radiation flows more freely, like winds threading through mountain passes. Some scientists now believe Voyager is entering a kind of low-density pocket, an ancient void left behind by long-dead stars, a galactic scar, a place shaped not by the presence of matter, but by its absence, carved out by cataclysmic forces we can scarcely imagine. These aren't just measurements anymore. This is a living map of a landscape that has never before been seen or touched, a place where we can begin to trace the hidden skeleton of our galaxy. And then, Voyager went silent. In late 2023, It stopped transmitting usable data. For months, Earth called out into the void, but all that came back was garbled static. Our farthest explorer, alone in a freezing darkness where light takes 22 hours to return home, had gone quiet. After 46 years, it looked like the end. And for NASA, it wasn't just an equipment failure. It was like losing the eyes of humanity itself. But then, in one of the most remarkable feats of engineering in the history of space exploration, NASA pulled off what can only be described as digital CPR. Engineers traced the problem to a corrupted memory chip, likely struck by the very same kind of high-energy cosmic ray Voyager had been studying. How ironic. The ghost that damaged Voyager came from the very world it was exploring. But they didn't give up. Across 15 billion miles with 1970s technology, they rerouted software, rewriting commands in forgotten programming languages and squeezing them into backup memory, like trying to perform brain surgery on a patient asleep in another galaxy. And it worked. By April 2024, Voyager began to wake up. First came the telemetry, the heartbeat. Then, one by one, its scientific instruments came back online. The plasma wave detector hummed again. The magnetometer stretched its silent arms into the wind. The spacecraft was alive. What it began to reveal after that was more than data. It was a glimpse into the hidden machinery of the galaxy, a roadmap, not just of space, but of survival. And just as the scientists celebrated the miracle of Voyager's revival, they started to notice something else, something profound. The more they examined the readings, the more they realized how dangerous the interstellar environment truly is, and how rare and precious our place inside the sun's protective bubble might be. Beyond the heliopause, Voyager is exposed to the true character of the galaxy: unfiltered radiation, magnetic chaos, rogue waves of plasma sweeping through the dark. The Earth, tucked safely inside the heliosphere, is like a fragile candle inside a glass lantern. The more we learn about what's out there, the more we realize how delicately we're sheltered. Voyager's journey isn't just a feat of engineering, it's a kind of awakening. We're not just peering into space, we're seeing the edge of our existence, the boundary between comfort and chaos, order and the raw fury of the cosmos. And for the first time, thanks to a tiny probe launched in 1977, we can trace that boundary with our own hands. Imagine this: 15 billion miles from home, a spacecraft from the 1970s is charting an invisible world, not just marking dots on a star map, but uncovering entire structures, forces, and realms that no telescope could ever reveal. Voyager isn't just drifting, it's navigating. And with every pulse of data, it's helping us sketch the first true blueprint of the space between the stars. What Voyager 1 is giving us is more than scientific observation. It's a new kind of cartography. Each magnetic ripple, each density spike, each unusual stream of cosmic rays becomes a thread in a vast galactic tapestry. Scientists are now using this data to build three-dimensional models of the Milky Way's magnetic scaffolding. Not theories, actual maps anchored in reality, built from whispers captured across the darkness. These readings reveal magnetic fields not as straight lines, but as twisted, looping threads shaped by ancient explosions and shaped again by galactic rotation. They rise and fall, curve and tangle, sometimes forming barriers, sometimes tunnels. And the radiation Voyager is detecting? It isn't uniform. It ebbs and flows, forming pressure gradients that hint at weather in space, currents and storms, warm fronts and cold voids. A cosmic atmosphere we never imagined existed. Think of it like this: we've always seen space as vast, dark, and empty. But Voyager is showing us that space has texture. There are ridges and folds in this darkness. There are eddies and filaments. There are voids and walls that extend for light years, structures that form a kind of cosmic skeleton underpinning our galaxy. In fact, One of the most breathtaking realizations to come from Voyager's data is that we may be looking at the very mechanisms that guide the birth of stars. When the spacecraft detects magnetic compression zones, or corridors of particle flow, it's not just measuring space weather. It's detecting the places where gravity and magnetism could concentrate matter, places where new stars may one day ignite. Voyager is giving us the scaffolding upon which the galaxy grows. And then, something even more startling happened. As Voyager moved deeper, it began passing through regions where the plasma density shifted suddenly, sometimes doubling, even tripling. Not randomly, but in patterns with structure, as if the probe were crossing invisible borders. NASA scientists soon realized these were cloudlets, small, localized patches of interstellar material. Not clouds like those on Earth, but faint, invisible clusters of gas and dust that formed after ancient stars exploded and scattered their contents into the void. Voyager has passed through at least 2 of these cloudlets already. Each one had a distinct edge, a clear boundary. That alone defies previous assumptions that space is more or less even in composition. It's not. It's carved into regions, zones where ancient forces have swept, collided, or collapsed into density. Some of these cloudlets are hotter. Some are more magnetically charged. Some ripple with the memory of long-dead stars. And it doesn't stop there. Voyager has entered the outskirts of something much larger, the local interstellar cloud. We've known this cloud existed, at least in theory, but until Voyager crossed into it, we didn't understand its nature. It turns out our solar system is moving through it right now, like a ship drifting through mist. And this mist is part of a vast structure called the local bubble, an enormous cavity blown open by multiple supernovae over tens of millions of years. Our sun, our planets, even Earth itself, all reside in this bubble, a kind of galactic clearing shaped by violence and now echoing with its aftershocks. This bubble and the cloud Voyager is mapping may explain more than just the structure of space. They could help us understand why cosmic rays fluctuate on Earth over long periods. How much radiation reaches our planet isn't just a matter of solar activity. It's about where the entire solar system is in its journey through the galaxy. Depending on whether we're passing through a dense cloudlet or a thinner region of the bubble, the radiation environment on Earth can change, and these changes might even ripple into life, altering mutation rates, climate patterns, maybe even the rhythm of evolution itself. This idea, that the deep structure of space affects Earth across millennia, connects Voyager's mission to our own story in a way that's deeply personal. The space between the stars isn't just a background setting, it's an active player in the unfolding drama of life on our planet. And Voyager, this aging, fading messenger from the past, is giving us the tools to see that drama for the first time. It's revealing that what lies beyond the sun's influence isn't a calm, dead sea, but a living, breathing realm, a place with its own weather, its own geography, its own secrets. As Voyager pushes onward, its readings grow fainter. Its power reserves shrink. NASA has already begun shutting down instruments to conserve energy. In early 2025, they made the painful decision to turn off the cosmic ray detector, a tool that has served us for nearly 5 decades. But even as systems go dark, the mission endures. 3 scientific instruments remain active, still whispering back to us through the void. Every byte of data is a treasure, every transmission a miracle, and behind every signal is the astonishing reality that this ancient spacecraft, built before the internet even existed, is still out there, working, not just surviving, but teaching, guiding, showing us that we are not alone in a silent void, but travelers through a layered, shifting ocean that spans across the stars. And in this vastness, we find the unexpected. Not aliens, not wormholes, but something even more profound, the truth, that the universe is not simple, that the unknown is richer, deeper, and more beautiful than we dreamed. Voyager isn't discovering monsters or myths. It's discovering the deep bones of the galaxy, the invisible scaffolding of creation, and with every mile, it pushes back the edge of the darkness, giving us light in return. As Voyager 1 drifts farther into the cosmos, it carries with it more than just instruments and data. It carries a piece of humanity itself. Tucked inside its golden record is a time capsule of Earth, music from Bach and Chuck Berry, greetings spoken in 55 languages, images capturing the essence of our world and who we are. This is more than a scientific payload. It's a message in a bottle, cast into the cosmic ocean, meant to outlast civilizations, perhaps even Earth itself. Long after our cities crumble, long after the continents have shifted beyond recognition, Voyager will continue its silent voyage. In about 40,000 years, it will pass within just 1.6 light years of a distant red dwarf star named GJ445, a close encounter by cosmic standards, a handshake across the stars. But even that is just a moment in its endless journey. Voyager is destined to become one of humanity's oldest and most enduring ambassadors, outliving all of us by millennia, carrying our story into the depths of space and time. This little spacecraft embodies our curiosity, our hope, and our relentless desire to explore. Yet, beyond this poetic legacy lies a practical truth. Voyager's discoveries are reshaping our understanding of how to travel through space itself. The interstellar environment it has revealed isn't empty or inert. It's a dynamic, sometimes hostile realm with layers of radiation, magnetic fields tangled and stretched across light years, and zones of intense plasma activity. These forces aren't just academic curiosities. They represent real obstacles that any future starship or interstellar mission will face. Voyager's data is already helping scientists map safe routes through this invisible minefield. The cosmic weather it charts could guide the path of humanity's first true journey beyond the solar system. It may reveal where radiation shields will be most crucial, where natural corridors could offer protection, and where space itself turns dangerous. In this way, Voyager is not just a relic, it's a trailblazer. This mission forces us to confront a humbling reality. We live inside a fragile bubble, a haven carved out by our sun amidst a stormy and turbulent galaxy. Our heliosphere is a shield, a shelter protecting us from cosmic radiation that would otherwise bombard our world. This makes our solar system a sanctuary, an oasis of calm amid the chaos. Understanding this bubble, its boundaries, and the storms beyond it isn't just a matter of curiosity. It's a matter of survival, for our technology, for our future explorers, and for life itself. Voyager has unveiled the true extent of that bubble's power and its limits, revealing an unseen battleground where our star's influence fades and the galaxy's fierce environment begins. But perhaps the most profound takeaway from Voyager's journey isn't about particles or magnetic fields. It's about perspective. For all our technology and knowledge, the universe still holds mysteries that challenge our understanding and expand our imagination. The edges of our solar system are not edges at all, but thresholds to an endlessly complex cosmos, boundaries that remind us how small and fragile we are, and yet how vast and bold our reach can be. Voyager 1 has crossed into a realm no human has ever touched, into a space not empty but alive, not silent but singing its ancient song. And through its steady, fading signals, it reminds us that exploration is more than travel. It's a journey of discovery, wonder, and connection. So when you look up at the night sky, know this. Out there, beyond the reach of sunlight, Voyager 1 sails on, carrying with it not only the hopes and questions of generations past, but also the promise of journeys yet to come. It stands as a testament to human courage, to curiosity that knows no bounds, and to the deep, unyielding desire to understand what lies beyond. What lies beyond the heliopause isn't the emptiness we expected. It's a place alive with secrets, shaped by forces both violent and beautiful, and waiting patiently to tell us its story. Voyager's voyage continues to rewrite the map of the cosmos, and with every faint whisper it sends back, it invites us all to listen closer, dream bigger, and remember that the universe is still full of wonders waiting to be found. If you've traveled this far with me, you understand now. Voyager didn't just reach the other side, it opened a door to the unknown, and what's waiting there is far more extraordinary than we ever dared imagine.